So I think I'm live. Okay, so I think I'm live now. And cancel this. Cancel this. Cancel this. So I was discussing. One thing I want to do right now is to delete some of the uh, one thing I want to do is to reset the uh, drizzle database because there are some things in my database that I don't want to share. So let me see. Where is this drizzle kit? Drizzle kit reset. Install and restart your drizzle kit start. Or maybe reset database. Okay, how does this work? With drizzle seed, you can easily reset your seed with new value. For example, in your test suite, reset await reset db. Uh, I need a function to reset the database. Where is the function? Drizzle seed. Drizzle seed can only use with drizzle volume or higher version. Lower than that, no. What is deterministic data generation, pseudo number generation, and it's a yarn drizzle seed. No, this is not what I want. No. Database reset. Uh, Postgres reset. What is this? Drizzle with 95 edge function and neo. No, not this one. Okay, let me search for drizzle kit. Drizzle kit. Mm, drizzle kit. Generate, export, migrate, up. Multiple configuration file in one project. Custom migration. Config.ts. It creates migration file. Overview. DrizzleKit is a CLI tool for migrating SQL data migrations with Drizzle. Based on your DrizzleKit lets you generate and run SQL migration file, push a schema directly to the data, pull schema, spin Drizzle Studio, a couple of utility commands. Generate, migrate, push, pull, check, open Studio. What is Studio? Studio will connect to your database, spin proxy server for Drizzle Studio, which you can use for convenient database browsing. No, okay, database browsing. That is good. Okay, let me do this. Uh, Drizzle Studio, local Drizzle Studio. Drizzle Studio is up here. Let me see. Control C, Control V, and here is the Drizzle Studio. And I have this database. I can delete this record, delete one record. Please select a, please add a primary key column or to your table or to update or delete. Uh, Primary column, this is primary key column. Uh, Delete one record. Panelists. Okay, I just come here and drop this. Drop one table. Drop this table as well. And this is fine. Okay. Now the tables are dropped. Let me come here and do Control C two times and then do uh, migrate. Yeah, push drizzle kit push. Okay, now this is applied. Now let me run again. Studio, and let me refresh this. Let me refresh this. Now the tables are there. Okay, fine. So I can drop the tables and I can add the tables. Great. So now let me show you. I have to start the server. So I have to come here and basically start the server. No, not this one. npm run dev. So the dev server is running. So what am I building here? I'm building a software which allows us to see which allows us to schedule interviews for I have a website which contains candidates, panelists, and jobs. Uh, so there are a bunch of jobs for which we have to conduct interviews, and for these interviews, we have some panelists and there are some candidates, and we have to match these panelists with the candidates. We have to match these panelists with the candidates, and what is the warning? Open Studio. What is the warning? I'm getting a warning. Uh, what is the warning? The stream current bit is lower than the recommended bitrate. Open widget. Current bitrate is 60 kb is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend you use a stream bitrate of 23500 kbps. Okay, so I have to go here in settings, stream, and ignore. I don't know how to set this rating up. I'll look at it later on. So I'm not interested in this. So right now what I've created is, so there will be a page where we have to have jobs. We have to have jobs, and the jobs will have uh, so we will have jobs like this where we'll have Java developers and their experience and their job description. We can add new job by clicking on this button, and we can add the details of experience, evaluation, and JD, and the job gets created. But there are a couple of more things I have to add in the job. I'll work on this later, but that is how the job is created. And we also have candidate table. Right now there's nothing, but I can add a candidate by clicking here, and similarly I can add a panelist by clicking here. Right now, what I'm building is I'm building a page where I can see the job. So let me open Obsidian. Let me open Obsidian and write down what I'm building today. So I'll open today's page and what am I building right now? Show job details, add flow to connect job to candidate, or vice versa. Add flow to connect candidate to job, add flow to connect panelist to job. Those are the three things I have to build. In show job details, I have to just create a page which can give the details of the job. So let me build that. For this, I'll need to do a couple of things. First is a backend API, get job ID, uh, a page, front end page with a front end page with details of the job. So those are the two things I have to do primarily. Let me do this. So I'll close this and let's see. Inside job ID, I've created routes. There is job ID and the backend call is done. Backend call looks like this. Async function. Async function params are, so this is how you write. This is how you write backend calls and this is how you write backend calls in Next.js. I don't need requests, so I'll remove this. I just need the params. A job ID is enough. Once I get the job ID, I get the data from the DB select. Let me see if DB select works like this. So I've used it somewhere else also. So there should be an await because this is a promise. So inside job ID routes, I have to do await DB select data from this and then response with the job. I also don't know whether I will get a single data point or whether I will get multiple. So this is an array of jobs. So I have to send the first job that comes here. Fine. Uh, Fine. Now I have to create a front end for this. So the backend API is done. I'll click here and backend is done. Front end I have to build. In the front end, I go inside job. So there are a couple of things I have to do. First, I have to go to the page of job, and in the data table, I have to do something with the columns. Uh, Columns. I have to go to the data table, or let me see how I can make the columns of a data table clickable. So for this, I have to go to shed cn. Inside this, I have to go to data table, and powerful table data grid built using 10 stack table. And then what I have to do is, so data tables are one of the most important parts of my application. I am interested in row action, so I'll directly jump to row action. Let's add row action to our table. Okay. Inside columns, you have to have cell row original, row dot original. What does this do? No, not row action, sorting, filtering, so row selection, use column definition, reusable component, cell formatting. Let me look at the basic data, basic structure. Access key is there, table, data table is there. Inside data table, component, there are headers and this body and this row. Okay. Uh, Enter the table, cell formatting, column def, row action. This is row action to we'll use component for this. Update the column definition to add a new action column. The action shall return a drop down component. It returns a drop down. Actions shall returns a drop down. I don't want a drop down. I want I want to click on the row. What is row selection? No. Pagination, sorting, filtering, visible row selection. We are now going to add row selection to our table. Checkbox. This is checkbox. Row selection, set row selection. It's a list of rows that you have selected. You can show the number of selected rows using show filtered selected row model. No pagination column toggle. Cell formatting. Let's format the amount cell to display dollar amount. Cell row. Does this support on click function? Where is the docs? 10 sec docs. 10 stack table. Okay, this is the headless UI. Components based library for headless library, headless table library, your data, column def, table instance, row models, columns. Where to get column from? Column ordering, column resizing, column ordering, column pinning, column visibility, global filter, fuzzy filter, fasting, expanding pagination, row pinning, row selection, core APIs, table, column, header group, feature API, pinning, sizing, sorting, fuzzy filter, sticking, editable data. What am I looking for in this? I'm looking for, I'm looking for uh, row click, connect row selection API to UI, render row selection, row object, row object for the sale. No, get a zombie. To handle clicks on a specific row clicks for selection in a table, you can hook a click events directly to row element. For this for this approach provides a similar UI for row selection. Get selected handler. Row gets selected to manage the selection state when row is clicked. Is a basic example of this. How you might implement this. On clicked row model, table dot get row model, rows dot map row on click. For example, each row is derived in a div where with an on click event that toggle the selection state of the row. The row get visible part is used to render. Okay, so I can have an on click function on top of the row. So let's go back to this data table and let's look at row. Uh, they were doing something with the row. Div column def cell row. Okay, so on the if I go to columns, title, your experience JD link, and I have one more. Access key, accessor key, details, header, details. What is this third thing which is there? Cell, cell, cell is this. Cell will take a row as input, row as input, and create a button inside this. Return button UI element button on click, on click for button, sorting, you have to go to row action, on click navigator clipboard, on click is a function which takes you to something. Uh, where does it take you? I have to see on this page. Look at this page. This not this page. On this page. No, absurd. But use this. No, use this columns. Job and here to const job ID is equal to, what do I have to do? Where was I searching for it? Cell formatting, row dot get value, row dot get value, column ID, ID. Okay, and just come here, quick fix, next link. This is next link only. Yes, columns, row ID. This closes inside bracket, and in here you write job ID. Do I have to do double curly bracket, or do I have to do dollar here? Okay, I have to do tick and another tick. Uh, tick. How does this work? I need to write a variable inside a string in TypeScript. Let me see. A string with variable type script. String interpolation in TypeScript. How does this work? This is. That's what I am doing. Template string. Uh, template string is what I have to use. So I'll close this. Okay, first I have to do equal to, then I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do job, then I have to do this, job ID. Okay, and I will format this document and I will save this. Fine. So now let's go back to the application and not add job, it should call details. It should say details. Details. Now go back here. If I click here, it should take me to, there's an error. Oh, fuck. Column ID does not exist. Table column ID does not exist. Okay, let's go back. So if I go to columns, uh, okay, should I write it here? Mm, should be ID and header ID. If I do this, what will happen? And if I click on details, okay, fine. So job ID should come here. Job ID should be in the list of columns. But this is bad because I don't want to show this column. I don't want to show this column. There should be some way of hiding it. Uh, Hide a column. It should be in the list of columns, but it should not. It should not be. Okay, I can do it. So I can have accessor key ID, and I can call it details, and then I can have the cell value here. Control X this and Control V here, and remove this column. Save it. What happens now? If I go to create details, if I click here, I get taken to the job. Fine. Details. Fine. So the last thing I want to do is I want to move it to the right. So I want to make it the last cell. So what I have done is I have created a link to that job. I've created a button to access job details. Now the next thing I want to do is once I click on this details, I want to see a page here which I will create tomorrow. But I have created this. I have created a link to the page for create a link to the show job page. Tomorrow I will continue this discussion. I will create a front end page with details of the job, and then moving forward I'll connect candidates to that job and panelists to that job. I'll stop the stream today right now. Right now it is 11:30 at my place. I'll go to sleep. Tomorrow again I'll do the streaming.